Namaste. The ancient science of healing from India is called Ayurveda, which translates to the science of life, Ayurveda. And in Ayurveda, there is a saying that 90% of all sickness starts in the stomach. The stomach meaning digestion. If digestion is not strong, then the body falls ill. What does that mean? You see, the digestion in Ayurveda is the element of earth and fire. Because it doesn't matter what you eat as much as what you digest. And we can eat the best food in the world, but if you don't digest it, what's the point, right? So the digestive system has to be extremely strong. That's what pulls the nutrients into your body. That's what brings the body the energy it needs to function properly. And every system in your body, the circulatory, the endocrine, the digestive, the respiratory, the lymphatic, every system in your body depends upon your digestive system. Everything depends on your digestion. That's why it's also called the mother of all the systems. It's the mother. Mother meaning it's the origin from which all the systems get their nourishment. So when we take care of our digestion, we take care of the root of so many other problems. So today, let's talk a little bit and let's do some things about the digestive system. The digestive system starts right here, just behind your lips, in your mouth, where the salivary amylase is created, where the carbohydrates are broken down. Then, once you break down those carbohydrates, then you swallow, it goes down through the esophagus into your stomach. The stomach is where the proteins are broken down. Mouth, carbohydrates, stomach, proteins. So the stomach produces acid, hydrochloric acid. This acid is so intense, it can actually dissolve a nail. And it's this incredible pH, powerful acids. And these acids break down the food. Because remember that you don't have teeth in your stomach. So the stomach breaks down food through chemical means. The mouth breaks down food through mechanical means and chemical means. So that's why it's imperative that you chew well before you swallow. Because there is no chewing once you've swallowed. It's all chemicals. So the hydrochloric acid breaks down the proteins, converts them into amino acids, and then as it goes then into the duodenum, which is the top of your small intestine, that's where the healthy bacteria help with the breakdown of food. Lactobacillus acidophilus, all of that stuff is in your duodenum. Then from there, it goes into the small intestine, where again more digestion takes place. Then it goes all the way down to the ileocecal valve, where it becomes the large intestine. It goes up the ascending colon, out through the transverse colon, down through the descending colon, and then out through the anus. So this process, everything from the anus to the mouth, the whole thing is the digestive system, the gastrointestinal tract. And we don't pay attention to it. We don't even think much when we are eating, but we should. We really should. So the first lesson in digestion is chew your food. Chew your food. In fact, my mother used to communicate with Charles Atlas, the world's most perfectly developed man. And he wrote a letter to her where he wrote, "Drink your solids and chew your liquids," which is a very interesting way of saying your mouth is extremely important. So when you eat anything solid, chew it so much that it becomes liquid. So you have to drink it. And even when you're drinking something, don't just chug-a-lug it. Give it a few moments in your mouth. Very important for digestion. Take time, because once you've swallowed, you are no longer in control. Now it's part of the autonomic nervous system, the parasympathetic system. So that brings us to the next step in yoga. In yoga, we realize that since digestion is a parasympathetic response, it cannot work when you are stressed. For example, when I was in university and I had to do all the exams, I could not eat before an exam. I feel like if I'm going to eat something, I'm going to throw up. Because the digestion shuts down when you're under stress. Therefore, we don't eat when we are in a hurry. We don't eat when we are under stress. India's greatest naturopathic doctor, Dr. Charles Jasawala, was a friend of mine as I was growing up. And he was in his late 80s when I was a teenager. And he told me how important digestion is. He said it is better to skip a meal than to eat one in a hurry. It is better to skip a meal than to eat one in a hurry. Because if you eat food in a hurry, the food is not digested because the digestive system is not working when you're under stress in a hurry. And so it becomes what in Ayurveda is called ama, which means toxic matter, undigested matter. And the colon tries to figure out, the small intestine tries to figure out, what am I going to do with this stuff? Causes problems, causes gas, causes toxic buildup in the blood. So please remember these two rules. Chew like the dickens in your mouth, and when you eat, relax. That is why people say a prayer before they ate. In the old days, people sat around the table, Lord bless this food, whatever you say in your own faith. That calms the body down. It reminds you of your connection with the bigger picture. And then as you eat, with gratitude and respect, the food gets digested better. Now, let's do a little bit of asana for digestion. There are two types of asana for digestion. One is to stimulate digestion, and the other is to soothe the digestive system so that it can work better. So let's do the stimulation first. Let's do the stimulation first. So we'll do two asana for the stimulation. One is not an asana, one is a kriya, and that is marjana. So please go onto your hands and knees, and you can do it along with Stephanie. Spread your knees hip-width apart and your hands shoulder-width apart. And since your shoulders are wider than your hips, your hands should be wider than your knees. And then, on the inhalation, drop your spine, lift your buttocks, and lift your chin. Release your belly down towards the floor. And now the opposite. Suck your belly in and up, pulling your tailbone down, pulling the back of your head down. And on the inhalation, reverse. So use the breath, inhaling to lift the sitting bones on your head, exhaling to move them down. You start to flex and extend your spine and thereby your GI tract. Everything from your throat to your anus, the whole movement creating mobility. Do it a few times. So when you're lifting, suck your belly. When you're going down with your belly, drop it. Yeah, spreading your belly. So again, you're stimulating, you're bringing blood flow, you're bringing circulation into this region of the abdomen. And then slowly come to neutral. Now, that is one thing. The second thing is extra stimulative, where you are squeezing and forcing the blood to flow into the organs of your body and making the digestive system wring itself out, flush itself. So for this, lie on your back. And once you have lain down, bend your knees and pull your knees towards your chest. Then take your arms out sideways. Now pull your toes back, press your heels away from your knees. Squeeze your legs together. Inhale. And on the exhalation, swing your legs to the right and back to the center. Inhale. Exhaling, swing your legs to the left and back to the center, and continue. Now as you're doing this, when your knees go to the right, pull your belly to the left. When your knees go to the left, pull your belly and your head to the right. And repeat this now again for about half a minute. Each time, feeling the contraction of your abdomen because you're putting your knees towards your chest. That happens from the hip flexors, and then moving back and forth, stimulating your gastric juices, wringing out the small intestine, opening and contracting the opposite ends of the colon, the ascending and the descending colon. Also, you're stimulating your pancreas, your gallbladder, and your spleen. Maybe one more. And then gently bring your feet down. So these two are ways to increase the energy in your digestive system. This helps with the stimulation, the production of the bile from your liver. It helps with the increasing of production of acid in your stomach. It increases the absorbability of food in your small and large intestines. Slowly roll over. And now we do something for the opposite effect, which is the soothing release of the different chemicals for the breakdown of digestion. For that, we'll do Setubandha Sarvangasana. So find yourself a brick. We have a big brick here. This is a mama brick. So if you don't have one of these big bricks, then you can take two small ones. And what you're going to do is lie on your back with this underneath your sacrum. So once you have lain down, lift your pelvis and put the one or two bricks underneath your sacrum. Then drop your arms to the side and roll your shoulders under your upper back so that your neck is not pressing. The cervical spine should not touch the floor. Keep your knees parallel, do not splay them apart. And then with your eyes closed, relax your neck. You see, what is happening now is that you are releasing the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve comes from the bottom of your brain, your pons and your medulla oblongata area, and it goes down around the spine. It doesn't go into the spine. All the other nerves go into the spine. The vagus does not. It wanders. The word vagus comes from the Latin wandering. It wanders outside and then goes into all your organs. Your heart, your lungs, your diaphragm, your digestive system. And so by doing this action, you release the tension in the vagus, thereby allowing it to function better, which triggers your digestive process. If you are more supple, you may certainly straighten out your legs in this pose. Then you get even more opening in the lower GI tract. This pose, along with its parent Sarvangasana, are best done when you have time to hold them. My teacher, the great B.K.S Iyengar, said, hold the pose for 20 minutes, and that truly triggers the nervous system to relax. So let your breath be soft. Let your throat and neck be soft. Feel a calmness entering your brain. As you exhale, release tension from your belly, from your abdomen. Inhale, and then to come out, lift your pelvis a little bit off the bricks and put the pelvis back down on the bricks. Do that 3 times. On the 4th time, take the pelvis completely off, remove the brick and come down. Slowly straighten out your legs, drop your arms by the side and take 3 breaths in relaxation. Shavasana. And then ever so slowly bend your knees. Roll over to your right and pushing the floor, sit up. To repeat, chew your food. Spend a few moments before you eat to get the whole system parasympathetic, which means relaxed. And then do these 3 asana, both to stimulate and to relax your nervous system in your GI tract.